Hey everyone. Hey everyone. Welcome. Welcome into practice. Welcome into practice. Ah, you are here. You arrived. It's time to practice. How are we doing? How are we feeling? Let me know. Pop in the chat. Pop in the chat. We'll let some folks trickle in here as we get started. Go ahead. You know the drill. Get comfy. Get some water. Get your journal. Settle in for some you time. So, as we're settling in, I am noticing that this is the first time we're doing practice this year where the sun is setting. I think technically it's already set, but I can still see the light over the horizon out my window. So this is the first time the sun is setting before and during practice. So we're getting there. I would say spring is here. The light is changing. The birds are here. They're starting to arrive up from the south. So, welcome back, birds. The seasons are changing. And I'm curious, is anybody feeling that? I know a lot of folks in my day job this week we're talking about they can definitely feel it because their allergies are starting to kick up. So if that's true for you too, I hope you're able to take care of yourself, some extra self-care in that, some water, some medicine, whatever it is that you need. But that is definitely a sign of the changing seasons as well. So, yes, lots of changes, lots of changes. Tonight, let me look at my calendar. Yes, tonight is the full moon. Tonight is a full moon and it's a lunar eclipse, which is so cool that the eclipse happens over the full moon, right? It didn't so um I guess that's when it happens. I think that's the definition. But in any case, I think it's cool. I should know that. I have a minor in astronomy. In any case, in any case, if you're in the United States, I believe that is the main path where you'll be the main swath where you'll be able to experience it. Will happen in the wee hours here, I think, between about 1 and 4 a.m. So, but in any case, if you've been feeling like things are crazy, and when I say it's the full moon and the lunar eclipse, you say, oh, yeah, that must be what's going on. I feel you. I don't know if or how these things are connected, but boy, oh boy, does it just feel like they are, right? Right? Put a yes in the comments, put a yes in the chat if that resonates with you. So, if that is true for you, you are in the right place. Um, if you are looking for just some self care, some quiet time, you are in the right place. We are going to create space. Tonight is all about creating space. Creating space. One of my absolute favorite quotes, if you've been with the channel for a while, you've heard me say it a million times, is from Viktor Frankl, who is a Holocaust survivor. I have yet to read his book. It is on my list. It's actually right in front of me, so I've got to do that. And he just really empowers us through his work. So, one of his famous quotes is that between stimulus and response, there's a space. And in that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response is our growth and our freedom. I think for me, in times of high stress or sort of like continuous stress, maybe it's not big stressors, but little things. Maybe it's a bunch of little things with like a big stressor in the middle or something, maybe it's a bunch of big stuff all at once, right? You know that phrase, when it rains, it pours, and it can feel like that. And I think in times like that, when can be high, right? Our nervous system is on alert. We're in fight or flight. We're using our sympathetic nervous system to get through the day, right? Fight or flight. For me, sometimes that feels like my nervous system is on fire, right? It's like a buzzing, just you're activated, right? You're up, you're alert, right? And you're reactive. And when you're reactive, your reality is contracted, right? There's no space. There's no space. Welcome. As you're coming on in, go ahead and get comfy. We are talking about creating space. So get comfy, grab some water. We're going to dive in here soon. I wanted to share a little bit more about space. So we talked about Viktor Frankl. Um, I also, my first meditation teacher in my undergraduate studies uh, gave an analogy and an imagery of a fist and a knife, right? And he says, if you have a fist and it's clenched around a knife, that's going to hurt, right? That's going to hurt. You might get cut, damaged, whatever it is, right? But as soon as you open up that fist and make space, it doesn't matter how sharp that knife is, it cannot hurt you. It cannot hurt you. And that's what we're talking about when we create space between our stimulus and our response, right? And so we're going to do some practices around that, because if you are activated, if you are stressed, right, your question is probably, well, how the heck do I do that? Right? Are you asking me to do one more thing when I'm already stressed out? And don't worry, I've got you. I've got you with some practices. And there's a couple ways we're going to do this. If you're in here, go ahead and pop on in the chat. I'd love to say hi. Who's with me? Where are we coming from? We're talking about creating space. So come on in, say hi. No pressure. Get comfy. Get some water. Um, there's two ways to think about making space. One, you're already doing because you're here, right? This practice, coming here, making time for, hi, mom, need more space. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And that's what we're doing. And that's part of the practice that we're here for, right? When we take a moment of self care to pause and attend to ourselves and what we need, what our bodies need, what our mind needs, to sort of refill our own cups, we're pausing and we're making that space, right? We're pausing, we're taking a breath. The pause is the space, right? And that can be challenging because it feels like we're not able or we can't or we shouldn't, right? But when we pause, we have that opportunity to then, as we come into practice, we pause. Hey, Dad. Dad's here too. Um, so, what? This is great. Sorry, guys. I get excited when I see who's in the chat. Um, so we pause and then we're able to leave practice and choose, right? Choose how we want to respond. Choose our next actions rather than reacting, right? The other form of this is during the moment, right? So an email comes in, a text comes in, you have an interaction with somebody, you watch the news, you get on social media. Those are stimuli, right? You go outside and there's a neighbor, right? And those are all stimuli. And how do we create space, right? Um, because for a lot of those things, the immediate reaction is to react, right? We become reactive and we don't intentionally choose our response. And that closeness between stimuli and reaction creates stress. So, what can we do? We pause. How? Awareness. Awareness. If you've been with the channel for a while, that's the power of mindfulness and mindfulness practices. So we pause, we become aware of the stimuli, right? We see the posts. Let's take the post. We see the posts on social media and we react to it, right? We realize that we're starting to react emotionally, right? We have thoughts, we have feelings about it. And the key here is starting to become aware of those thoughts and those feelings. Notice how you're reacting, not just emotionally in your mind, but also in your body, right? Your shoulders are getting tense, your stomach is getting tight. Maybe you're even clenching your fist. Maybe you feel your blood pressure and your face is starting to get hot, right? And maybe these are a little more extreme cases, and maybe they're not, right? But you start to notice. And as you become aware, and we won't go fully into this practice, I've got an article on my website. How I'm reading the title so I get it right for you, but how practicing mindful acceptance can change your life. This goes into a bunch of facets of dialectic behavior therapy and science research and things like that, and then an actual practice. So if you want to know more details, head there. But the first step is awareness. And when we've got awareness, then we can choose. I can't choose if I'm not aware. So I can take a breath, pause, and then get curious. How do I want to respond to this? And choose. That choice is our power. That choice is our power. All right. So that is what we are going to work through today. We'll probably stick mainly with the first one where we're simply creating space by being here, by breathing, by taking a break, by doing some self-care, right? That in itself is a huge practice. So we'll start with that and then we'll see where the night takes us. Before we do that though, how about sticker segment? I love a good sticker segment. Okay. Full moon eclipse. I don't know if I've got any like cosmological stickers in here. Dad, you got the telescope out? Oh, I didn't know there were some of those stickers in there. One more. We'll do 3. I like sets of 3s. Yes, we have the telescope out. Haha. Aw, some cute ones today. Okay. So, first and foremost, and this is I didn't know that there were specific stickers in this set, religious stickers in this set. So take what is helpful for you and leave the rest. But this first sticker says, Jesus is always with me. Aww. There you go. There you go. Some comfort, some support, something bigger than us, right? Something bigger than us. And that is a great comfort. That is a great comfort. Next one up. Your only limit is yourself. Dream big, people. You can do the things. You can do the things. I do not know your shorthand, Dad. Oh, short final? Oh, flying reference. All right. Smile. Smile. And you know what I love about this sticker is that this guy down here, it's just taking a gentle smile, right? This isn't a big, extravagant, get funny, just because you feel like it type of thing. Be goofy, right? You don't have to do all that. Just a little Mona Lisa smile, right? It's good. So there you go. Some inspiration for your evening. Take what you need, leave the rest. I hope that was supportive, giving you some inspiration, giving you some warm fuzzies. There's enough spiky whatevers. I don't know what the opposite of warm fuzzies are. Pop it in the chat if you know. Um, but there's enough spiky things out there, right? Come here for some warm fuzzies. Some warm fuzzies. All right. So let's go ahead and settle in. And we're going to do some practice to create some space. Hopefully, you're starting to feel that already. We've been here for about 15 minutes now. So, hopefully, you're starting to feel that space. You're starting to feel a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more, maybe joyful is a little bit strong of a word. Maybe you are. I am. I'm starting to feel a little joyful, a little happy. So, settling in. Settling in. Go ahead and find some stillness. I think any position is probably good for tonight. So you can feel free to hang out with me, sitting upright if you will. If you want to, take a seat on the cushion, on the floor, on a mat, couch, chair, grab some pillows, grab some blankets, get cuddled in. There's no right way here. Do what's right for you. Starting to take some small movements to just settle in even further, maybe rolling out your wrists. I don't know if I recommend this, but this is just a habit of mine. I always crack my ankles and flex my toes when I'm getting ready to settle in. Maybe you need to adjust any clothing to make sure that feels right. Adjust your seat. And when you're ready, gently closing your eyes if that's comfortable for you. If you'd like, feel free to keep them open with a soft gaze in front of you. And settling in, starting to become aware of your breath. Just taking a few breaths here. Already the space is starting to grow as we center in on our breath, setting down the past, setting down the future, our worry, our plans, thinking about the events of the day or the week, and just starting to breathe. Attending to your in-breath and your out-breath. Just breathing, not trying to change anything or make it different or judge it, just breathing. And on your next in-breath and out-breath, releasing your shoulders down away from your ears. Relaxing the muscles in your forehead, around your eyes. Relax your jaw. And once again, relaxing your shoulders down away from your ears. Perhaps becoming aware of the surface beneath you. Perhaps the ground beneath your feet. Whatever it is you're sitting or lying upon. Noticing the temperature, the texture, the firmness, the softness. And on your next out breath, just relaxing a little bit deeper into the surface beneath you, allowing it to support you, allowing it to hold you. Returning to the breath, your in-breath and your out-breath. As we become more embodied in this moment, present with this breath, our direct experience of breathing, we set aside all other moments, all other experiences. And in doing so, we make space between us and those moments. Here in this practice, you can rest in that space. Relax in that space. Here, all you have to do is breathe. And in so doing, knowing that this practice is serving you. Judgment may arise in our thoughts. This is a waste of time. I need to move on to the next thing. How can just sitting here breathing do me any good? And yet, physiologically, this supports our health and our well-being. It allows our body to move from a state of fight or flight to a state of rest, digest, and restore. It allows our bodies to allocate resources that it needs to be well. Our bodies need this space to be well. And when we're well, we improve our quality of life. Just breathing. Allowing your awareness to rest on your in-breath and your out-breath. You may find that your thoughts wander away from the breath. That is no problem. Simply become aware that you're no longer aware of your breath. Meet these thoughts, emotions, physical sensations where your awareness now rests with kindness, and simply return your awareness back to your breath. You may even speak to yourself inwardly or out loud. In breath, out breath. In breath, out breath. Just breathing. We'll be here for a few minutes, allowing yourself this time, perhaps even meeting some gratitude. I am grateful for this practice and for choosing these moments. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Letting all else fall away. Returning as often as you need to the breath, to the present moment, to your direct experience of life as it is right now. You're here. You showed up to practice. You're breathing. And for this moment, that's all you need to do. A few more breaths here. And now, with your eyes still closed, I want you to imagine or think about what it is that you're doing after practice. I'm asking you now to step into the future. What are you doing right after this practice? Without judgment, just bringing to mind. And as you think about what that thing is, I want you to bring a sense of intention, a sense of choice. How? What? How do you want to move through that next piece of your day? How do you want to feel? Choosing your response to the next thing. This is a practice, as mindfulness is a practice. And as we experience each moment in our life, we have the opportunity to bring more awareness there and then choose. Step inside that space between stimulus and response to pause, take a breath, and choose. Choose how you want to show up in this world. Choose how you want to respond. Choose what feels healthy and right for you. You are a light in the world. How do you want to light the path? How do you want to show up? Bringing this with you throughout your days. The world tells us that we have to respond quickly, right away, right now. We have to hurry, we have to rush. And I'm going to invite you that a pause can be as short as a breath. And that breath can open up the doors to your growth and your freedom through your choice. One more breath here. And if you haven't already, starting to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, taking some small movements. Stretch if you need to stretch. I invite you to bring a slight smile to your face. And when you're ready, opening your eyes and coming back into the room where we started. How was that? How are we feeling? How are we feeling? I see Mom said art and eclipse. So those are the next things. That is beautiful. And that sounds lovely. A beautiful night ahead, I suspect. So excellent. Yes. It's amazing what just a little space can do. Why does that work so well? Because physiologically, it shifts us physically. And when we shift physically, we shift emotionally. We shift our mindset. Everything shifts when we shift. When we shifts. You know what I mean. So as you go throughout this week, I actually have an action item for you. Ooh, maybe a new segment. Action items. Not homework. We won't call it that. Action items as you go throughout the week. And I'd love for you to come back to the comments of this video and let me know, maybe check in. How did it go? Pop on over to our Facebook group. Let me know when you found a moment to pause. A long pause, just one breath, to make space for your choice. To make space for your choice. So, with that, thumbs up. Thumbs up for a good practice. Go check out the blog on empoweredhealingpractices.com. Can I do this? I haven't tried this before. I don't know how YouTube feels about links. If I can, I'm going to pop it in the chat here. We'll see. Haha. New skill. I up-leveled, y'all. So I popped in the chat. I should do this more often. I popped in the chat the article, the blog post that I wrote about how practicing mindful acceptance, which is a version of this, can change your life. So it's a flavor. It's a little bit different than what we did today, but the idea is all, you can't, but can you access it? If you click on it, will it take you somewhere? Maybe you guys can't share links. That's probably true. I know YouTube has things. This is to my website. It is safe. I would never, ever put anything in there that is not safe for you all. But this goes into a little bit more detail again, just about how do we do that? How do we create that space? And if you want a little more details and a few more tools around how to do that effectively, we talk a little bit about neutralizing our experience, right? Because so often with our experiences, when we're reacting emotionally, right? And we're reacting with these thoughts. Okay, great. Thank you. Works perfectly. Good, good, good. So go check that out. Let me know what you think about it. But that reaction, that mental reaction, right? There's a lot of storytelling that happens very quickly, right? I know Leanne, my coach, likes to use the example of when it rains outside. Sometimes we say, we see the rain and we say, oh my God, it's raining. This is ruining my whole day. Now I can't do what I was planning to do. How am I supposed to go outside and do the yard work? Now I have to bring the umbrella. I hate the rain. It's so gray. I wish it, right? All of that is our storytelling, right? And so what we can do is put it in my, yes, I will put it in the description. Sorry, I'm doing both things. I will get the link in the description box below. But what this does, right? We can have that reaction. And it's not that reaction isn't valid. And there's a question about, how does that serve us? right? If at the end of the day you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed and tired and fatigued, we might say, yes, all of those reactions are valid, and maybe they're not as helpful to me as I would like them to be. So instead, I can remove that judgment and that storytelling piece and simply acknowledge the facts. It's raining. And now I can choose, how do I want to move forward with my day, given the fact it's raining. Right. So, went a little bit more into detail into the weeds there. Maybe we'll do another practice here coming up. There's so many good things about creating space. But remember, it can be as simple as taking a breath, one breath before you respond. So, with that, I hope you find many moments to take a breath. Yes, there's many other ways that you can create space. My dad is getting creative in the chat there, so why not? Um, sure. So, yes, lots of ways to create space. As you're going throughout the week, let me know where you found those moments and how you were able to choose differently, choose what it looks like going forward. So I hope this helped you. I hope that you enjoy, if at all possible, the full moon, the lunar eclipse. If you get some pictures, I would love to see them. Um, I would love to see them. You can share them in the Facebook group with me if you would like. Share your experience. I'd love to see it. So, sending so much light and love to everyone. Um, we'll be here next week. Yeah, I think that's it. I feel like there's more announcements, but we are about 40 minutes in. So, a nice, good practice tonight. Have to practice. Thank you all so much for showing up. I can't wait to see you here next time. Have a great week. Bye.